Now, I just want to share with you some basic principles of success that I learned many years ago that helped me to succeed in various fields, various areas of endeavor, regardless of what obstacles I had to face. Consistently, I found out that these principles I'm about to share with you allow you to achieve whatever goal you have in mind, so long as you are willing to apply them without giving up. All right. You talk about people like Edison, Henry Ford, Lincoln. You know, there's so many people you could look at. You study their lives, people who succeeded in spite of adversity, and these same principles come up all the time. What they have in common: they achieved legendary success in spite of severely unfavorable circumstances. You know, some of them came from crippling poverty. They lacked formal schooling. You know, like Henry Ford, he was a stark illiterate. Many people did not know that. Edison was actually an employee of Henry Ford was actually an employee of Edison, and when he wanted to start his business, when they wanted to start producing what they call the horseless carriage, that is the car, you know, the one that had the kind of engine that would allow poor people to be able to have cars of their own. Edison literally just told him, "Come on, forget about that idea. Let me promote you to supervisor." So Henry Ford had to take a decision. Look, this man, genius that he is, doesn't believe in me. I need to believe in myself. And he told his wife, and he decided he'll go solo. And he had to use his remaining savings to do that. I mean, some people went through much more suffering than that. I'm just giving that as an example. But what's important is to know that he believed so much in himself that he was willing to tell even the genius, "Okay, I don't want your offer. I'd rather go and start my own thing." And let's be honest, Henry Ford made massive impact in the world. Without him, most of us would not be able to drive cars today. So that's what it takes. Sometimes you have to believe in yourself first for people believe in you. But it's not that easy. That's the challenge, because some of us are always looking for people to believe in us first. It won't happen. Many times you have to start by believing yourself, and I'm talking as a person that has lived it. Right? I'm making this recording right now, standing right outside, somewhere in Cotonou, and you know, even the things I've achieved within the last 10 days that I've been here, the people I've been talking with have been expressing so much surprise about the fact that I did it. You know, now I'm about to take another step with regard to BSF. It's going to be very interesting. Anyway, well, let me go on. So the major reason people succeed, okay, despite disadvantages they come up with in life, is the fact that they have able to apply persistence. Okay, so that's what separates those who succeed from those who do not succeed. It is the degree of persistence with which they pursue their goals. Lack of access to formal schooling or wealth can never be a fatal handicap for you. It can slow you down, but it cannot stop you. Okay, and history proves this. Like I've given examples of Henry Ford. There's so many stories you can read. Okay, there's one that I think I picked up from the web. That was about this gentleman who was dumped. He was a child that was found in a dumpster, and they used to call him dumpster baby. They used to mock him. He was picked up by a man who made him his foster child, and eventually he became a multi-millionaire, a coding guru, and he's successful today. But first of all, he started by being a dumpster baby, but he didn't let that affect him, and even the fact that people were mocking him didn't affect him. He didn't listen to all of that. He just focused, and he believed in himself, and he found something to do that was adding value to the world, and the world paid him, and he became successful. It's as simple as that. It's not about religion. That's the thing. You don't have to be religious to get successful financially and materially. That's the thing. You've got to understand there's a big difference. The religious thing is a personal thing. The spirituality is a personal journey. It has nothing to do with material success. You know? All right. So the story of Edison, you could go and read that, Google him up. The story of Henry Ford, you know, you can Google him up. There are many stories. There are many people, even right here in Africa, in Nigeria. We have stories of what's his name, MK Abiola, who grew up debt poor, became a multi-millionaire, billionaire businessman. We all know his story and his authentic experiences. You know, I don't want to talk about Lincoln. Again, you can read them up. I don't really want to dwell on them. But there's a quote I want to read out to you. Or several quotes anyway. One of them was credited to what's his name, Lincoln. He said, "I may be a slow walker, but I never walk backwards." That's one thing I want you to note. People sometimes in our societies have been taught that success should come quickly if you are meant to be successful. So they always make fun of you or cast aspersion on you and your ambitions the minute they see that it's taking you long, and they are the ones that decide when it's too long. You see, they measure your success or progress based on their own perception of what should be progress. So if they achieved, let's say, level 5 out of 10 of success, okay, within maybe 10 years, they begin to measure everybody by that standard. Meanwhile, there are people who became successful within a matter of the first 5 years of their lives. There are children who are millionaires who are 5, 10, 7 years old right now, and they've already discovered their talents and they're successful. So how do you then measure them against somebody who's at 50, who's still trying to make ends meet? We're on totally different journeys. Each of us is on a totally different path in life, and there are experiences we're supposed to have that are unique to us. You cannot measure yourself based on another person's success or failure. And I'm not trying to motivate you, I'm just telling you. Otherwise, many people will just go and commit suicide if they don't know this truth. Understand that your journey is unique. You can learn from every other person's journey, but you understand that your journey is unique, and you need to connect with your own path in life and begin to pursue the goals you want to achieve, without allowing yourself to be distracted by other people's experiences and stories, because we are all different human beings and we have different stories our lives are going to tell. You know, it's very important to understand that. Another quote I want to share with you, also from Lincoln. He said, "The world steps aside for the man who knows where he is going." Now think of those two quotes. I may be a slow walker, but I never walk backwards. So any day I'm moving, I'm walking slowly, but I'm taking a step forward every day. So like baby walk, or what we call baby steps. And then he says, the world steps aside for the man who knows where he's going. So if you know where you are going, that's the thing that's important. Find your purpose in life. You have to live a purpose-driven life. Find your purpose. The minute you find your purpose, then it doesn't matter how slow you are, keep going. People may laugh at you, people may mock you, people may tell you, look at your age mates, look at your talent, see your potential. I've heard a lot of rubbish. Somebody was saying that, was told by somebody, by a family relative, that somebody said, oh, look at Tyler, look at his potential, look at where he is. It's not for you to tell the person where he is. Is the person happy with where he is? Happiness is the most important thing to have in your life. If you are happy, that's what's most important. Of course, you cannot be happy with being an underachiever. But the thing is, you cannot be unhappy that you have not yet achieved where you want to be. So long as you are making progress, then just work hard and look for a way to make your progress happen even more. Okay. Now, one of the things I like to tell people all the time is, when you look at my online presence, especially Solagbade.com in particular, and the one that has come out of it, the offshoot of it, which is discovercoaching.com, I just got that removed from. I just got a very serious malware removed from discovercoaching.com. They literally took over my website, discovercoaching.com, when I arrived here, and they injected code into my database that turned the website into a kind of a marketing machine to trick people to go to their own websites. And somebody did that. As soon as I crossed over into the country, I used a particular network to browse, and I believe that's where that injection happened. So I had to get my web host to do that, to clean it up for me. The website is back up now. But here's what I want to tell you. What you see online, the entire online presence I have, the one that gets me all the sales I make, the ones I talked about, you can see on your screens. I'm talking, you'll be seeing all the slides showing. You will see a map of the world that shows different locations in the world that I've had buyers from. I have proof of all these things. Now, my ability to make those sales without meeting these people face to face, they found me through various channels on the web, through my marketing. That is the result of fanatical persistence in spite of exposure to massively discouraging adversity and failures of all kinds, delays, disappointments, setbacks, all sorts. Okay, if you think the above that I've said, what I've said just now is an exaggeration, I assure you it is not. I'm not on an ego trip. I can give you details, and I'm talking about personal struggles too in my own life, dealing with an abusive partner that inflicted serious emotional, verbal, physical and psychological abuse on me, to the extent that the government had to actually intervene and help me out. Yeah, I'm not a weakling, but I chose not to do what other men would have done. That's the story for another day. I have too much evidence of that. But what I'm telling you is that I practice what I preach. Okay, so not much money is required to run a website. So the website you see has been run on a shoestring budget, and it wasn't even the same website. It's always evolved, but because I built my skills up as a developer, as a coding expert, I've been able to sustain myself even when I did not have money, because I had to do it myself. And that's easy. When you have a passion for what you do, it's easy for you to do it yourself anytime. But it's taking me a relentless investment of lots of effort, time, sleepless nights without rest, sometimes days without food. Oh my God, you won't believe the stuff I put myself through. I'm in another country now. It's a different experience coming back to this country. Okay, when I came here in 2013, I started by sleeping on the streets. This time around, I'm going around, and clients are the one paying for my upkeep, and they are gladly doing it because of the stuff, the skills I have. I've proven myself. I'm in this country right now. I walk into the hotel and I'm able to say, use their resources. And these are guys. They told me yesterday, you are one of us. You are like a member of our family. Come on, man. That doesn't just happen to you overnight. You actually have to pay your dues to get there. So what I'm telling you is that it doesn't happen overnight, and you don't expect it to be put on your laps just because you ask for it. You have to make yourself worthy of it, and that takes time. Right? And I've consistently put out all kinds of content in spite of all the experiences I've had, negative and positive, to keep my online brand going. Because that's how I sell primarily. 99% of what I do is online. I don't do face-to-face business with most people. All right, I've done all this alone, sometimes catering to the different needs of clients in various industries. All right, as a multidisciplinary entrepreneur, so stories about people like Edison kept me going. All right. At the end of the day, one word keeps popping up every time when I look at the way I've succeeded, because I'm not a religious person, and I'm sure that if you've been following me for a while, you know that I don't do religion, and yet I succeed. And the reason why I succeed is because I practice these principles. What are these principles? The major one is diligent persistence. All right, you and your child can apply persistence and end up telling even better stories than I am telling. All right, so I offer the following suggestions based on what I'm doing with my own kids. Tell your children the stories of achievers like those I've mentioned here: Edison and Co., Mandela, Gandhi. I'm not very big fan of Gandhi because of things I found out, but again, his life is also kind of a testimony to the fact that persistence, determination, courage, faith, faith in yourself can lead to a lot of positive results. Okay, get your kids to go online, right, and do it with them. In other words, read up with them more details of how such people defeated extreme adversity to achieve noteworthy success in life. Okay, point out the fact that it did not happen overnight. This is very important. When you're talking about success, let people know. You can't just expect you will succeed. Just think that I just started yesterday. Maybe you'll be telling yourself, within 5 years you should have done something. You want God to show you proof first before you put more effort. No, you keep going until you succeed. You don't give God conditions. You know, that's the thing. Some people try to tell God when they want him to make them succeed. They want to I think they say it's a by fire by force. You cannot by fire by force success. It's impossible. All right. Now let them understand that they can also succeed with persistence. Let your children understand that no matter how tough things get. Now this message needs to be repeated to them as often as possible until they have it kind of imprinted in their memory, and it comes up into their mind the minute they are facing difficulty in life. It's important. If not, they are going to succumb to pressure to do naughty things. All right. Challenge your children as the opportunity presents itself, and it will come up. To apply that understanding when they come against even the most minor challenges. And finally, what I'll say is this: persistence is a habit you can learn and teach. Okay, and I've used true stories in this presentation to let you understand that an ordinary person with nothing can achieve unlikely success using just one weapon: dogged persistence. Okay, now the following quote is what I'm going to use to end it, and it actually captures and reinforces the points I've tried to make in this presentation. Nothing in the world takes the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful individuals with talent. Genius will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. Kroc, the founder of McDonalds. Now, persistence can be taught to people. It's a habit that can be developed. You, as well as your kids, can use it to achieve your own goals. The earlier you start it, the better. And at some point, you find out your ability to persist more or less will spontaneously and without effort lead you to success. Those around you who then begin to see your success will begin to wonder, wow, this guy seems to be unable to fail. Like I remember what's his name now? My boss in Guinness, the operations manager. What's his name now? Andy Jones. Andy Jones would say at my send-off, he was saying Tayo simply refuses to fail, and he had a reason for saying that. They knew the kind of test they threw in my path when I was acting in many capacities. I had my shortcomings, I had my weaknesses, I had my blind spots, and they saw all this, and they saw that I was a young manager that was developing. They wanted to help me grow. They tested me in many ways, and I always came through. And that was why he said what he said during my send-off. Tayo simply refuses to fail. I carry the same attitude with me today, and in spite of every setback, those who are close to me will tell you, my story is one that makes some people even feel like crying. I've told my story here in Benin, and it's been crazy, man. People have been reacting in so many funny ways because they never knew I was going through such things when I was with them, you know. And I was going and traveling between two countries, and they had no idea what I was facing on the home front. So they were telling me this was shocking to realize that was what I was facing. That was why I took some decisions I did. That was why the house I rented for over 287,000 naira, I had to come back and take back the money and go back. You know, it was crazy. But ultimately, in spite of everything, I'm able to bounce back every time to higher levels of success. That is what matters. And I round up by saying that on the screen there, you would have seen the short story on Facebook somebody shared that, which I thought was very instructive, of a young man who had been looking for a job offer from several places, and he got one from the Netherlands. He was in Nigeria, and having looked at the offer, he was very excited by the offer. Okay, the thing was, he kept going to apply for the visa. He never got the visa. So it became very frustrating. He got the offer, the job offer. They were waiting for him in the other country. He couldn't get out of Nigeria because he couldn't get visa approval. It was very painful. Then came a huge offer from a big bank in Nigeria. I mean, this was like a mind-blowing offer, something he would never imagine he would get. And he began to ask himself, oh, maybe this is why God is delaying me from going. Maybe God doesn't want me to leave the country. Maybe God believes or God wants me to succeed here in Nigeria. Maybe I don't need to leave the country to make it. Then luckily for him, I believe, if I recall the story correctly, he consulted with somebody else, which is always good. Somebody you can trust, have some people you can trust. I struggle really. I didn't have many people like that. By God, I didn't have people like that at all. Very, very, very few. Very few. You know, I had a few and I was lucky, but many times I just had to dig in, dig deep and reflect. And that's why I became somebody that very introspective. I became somebody very, very keen on critical thinking. You know, because I had to depend on myself a lot. Sometimes I even tried to ask for advice. I found out some people were trying to mislead me deliberately to slow me down. So, but in this case, this young man asked this person for advice, and when he did, what happened was the person told him, you think God is trying to lead you in this direction, like making you take up this job in Nigeria? Well, sometimes that sound, you know, because it's like an easy option, isn't it? You're already in Nigeria, and then a big job comes up, so you think this is an easier thing. Maybe God wants you to stay there, and this one that's so difficult, they're not getting the visa. Maybe that's one that you don't need. You know, it's going to be too difficult for you. But sometimes God wants you to go through the difficult path. That's actually where He wants you to go through, because He needs you to grow. You know, adversity forces you to grow. That's what He said. Adversity forces the human spirit to grow. Sometimes you need to go through that tough journey to become the man you are meant to be, the person you are meant to be by the Creator, so that you can achieve the purpose He wants you to achieve for Him. So when you think you want to take the easier path, be careful. Sometimes the easier path is not the right path. You know what they say about the narrow path, you know, that leads, you know, to success. So sometimes you want to pass through the path that is the unbeaten path, not the one that has already worn out. Okay, so I hope this is useful. I really felt inspired to do it right now, because when I look at the stuff I'm achieving now, I realize that I've been prepared for this level of achievement by the things I've gone through. Even the adversity I went through in the home front with my abusive partner, all of it has shaped and formed me into the man I am today. And I am able to add value to others in my conversations, in my behavior, through the work I do. I find that people are able to appreciate me. I connect with people better. I'm able to be more empathetic. I'm more of a complete person than I ever was. And I believe that if I had not had every one of those experiences, I would not be where I am today. Therefore, what I'm saying in nonsense is, whatever you're going through, understand that it's part of the ingredient that's going to make you become the person you're meant to be. So don't look back, keep going forward, and keep having faith. Okay, in closing, like I said, this is not supposed to be some motivational speech. I'm actually just trying to share with you principles that can allow you to achieve the goals you desire. And one of the things I do is that I help people do that. I'm a performance improvement specialist with a multidisciplinary aptitude. I bring my expertise and experience to bear in serving clients while working from any location, so I'm location independent. All right, now we need to be flexible minded. Some of us are different. I personally avoid high maintenance clients. Those are clients that impose on you and demand that you work in a specific way with them, when actually they need to depend on your experience and expertise to get the results they say they want. Because if they were getting the result they wanted, they wouldn't be talking with you in the first place. So I tell people all the time, those people that insist, oh, I've got to see you face to face, more often than not they have some other problems. It's not the issue of the meeting, it's their ability to trust. They can't trust themselves, so they can't trust other people. And that's why a lot of my clients have been with me for years, because they are the kind of people that understand that trust is the foundation on which relationships are built. And if you can be that kind of person, then I can help you. Don't limit yourself. You have to make good use of technology. You do not need a physical meeting to explain what you want. I cannot split myself across Africa, all the countries in Africa, all right, in order to serve everybody. The best way to do it is to make myself available using technology. So we cannot have technology and still be limited by time or space, okay, in the work we do. My achievements prove that this is possible. I've been doing this for over 15 years. And believe me, the results I get for people in and out of Africa prove that it's possible. And I'm not just the only one, of course, but it's just that people want to preach the message that being in Africa, you can't do it. But it is very possible for anybody, anywhere in the world with today's technology. Right? For example, they told me I could not sell my custom Excel Visual Basic spreadsheet software. I've been selling them to buyers for over a decade now, you know, in and out of Africa. You know, my poultry farm manager my Excel Visual Basic livestock operation formulator, my payslip generator, church records manager. I've sold so many kinds of applications that I continue to build on demand for clients that want it. They also told me that I could not earn income selling my software, my information products and my services 100% online without meeting clients. Again, I've been doing that for years. When I started it in 2010, they said, oh, it's not possible. I told them I had no alternative because I was no longer prepared to be disrespected by some naughty clients. Today, I live my dream, right? I work remotely and people pay me. So a lot of things are possible. It's just the way you think. And I have learned personally to tune out negative people and focus on my goals. That strategy has never failed me. Get in touch with me if you need my help. A physical meeting is optional. The problem is not the meeting, like I said before. It's your ability to trust. Over 95% of my clients today took a leap of faith to buy from me remotely by trusting that I will deliver. Are you willing to do that as well? If yes, I look forward to working with you. I wish you well.